Ready.
Set.
Gamecast.
Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to Ready Set Gamecast, a bi-weekly podcast about video games and pranks. I'm Bryce, and I'm joined by the Maid of Mischief, Darian.
Yo, what's up?
And the inventor of April Fools himself, Teddy Chinaris. Hey Teddy, what pranks do you have planned for the big prankster day coming up? Okay, well, Darian, do you have any ideas for the pranks to do on April Fools?
Nothing is set in stone yet, but I may be pranking someone for April 2nd by hiding Easter eggs in my workplace. And we're closed on Easter, which is April 1st, April Fool's Day, the day of pranks. And so I may be hiding a bunch of Easter eggs around and scaring the poop out of the person who opens the following day.
Because eggs are the most scariest of the foods.
They're the scariest.
Eggs, no! Not no.
Actually, ironically enough, she hates eggs. So...
Well, while you're working on that great prank, can you tell me what games have you been playing?
I've been playing League of Legends, and I played through Please Knock on My Door one time. I think I got a good ending. There's multiple endings to that game.
Ooh.
I started playing through Rumu again. I haven't gotten very far, just the first day. Played some Human Fall Flat, which was a lot of fun. I played PUBG and some PUBG Mobile. Been bringing, PUBG on the run with me. And it's not... PUBG Mobile is so much easier than regular PUBG.
Wait, are you on the run from the law?
Yeah. Don't tell them where I am. I'm risking a lot being here right now.
Okay.
And I started my first blind playthrough of Until Dawn, which I'm really excited about because I really know pretty much nothing about that game. And it's very scary and it's very good. And I'm excited to see if I can succeed at all because right now it is not looking like it.
That video game started my streaming career.
Really?
Yeah, I decided to randomly stream it using the PS4, and I streamed it to YouTube, and 5 people tuned in and were talking and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. So I decided to do more of it, and then less people showed up, but it's been over a year, probably around 2 years since that stream, and I'm making content still. I only stream once in a while, but still content creating. Teddy Chinaris, any games that you have played in the last couple weeks that you would like to tell us about? Okay, well, if you don't have any games to talk about, I'll go. I have also been playing PUBG Mobile. I downloaded that right away when it came out. I got number 2 my first time, which was pretty cool. Although it also turns out that there's a lot of bots in that game.
Is there?
Apparently, for the early on, they filled the games with a lot of bots to, I guess, help get people acclimated. I don't think the Tencent has officially come out and said, yes, there's bots, but everyone seems to be on the conclusion that there is.
If there's no confirmation, I mean, I feel like, I guess it's possible, but I feel like everybody seems to be playing like a human. I guess I haven't run into anybody except for the person that I ran over with a car that turned to shoot at me and then just stood still. That could have been a bot. But most of the people I run into definitely seem to be like reacting to what I'm doing in a human way.
I mean, it's like my first game. There was plenty of times like the person just wasn't like shooting; they were just kind of like staring at me, and I was like, "Oh, they must not even know how to play the game yet. Like they probably just got this for the first time and stuff." But yeah, there's a lot of claim. Like Polygon did an article of like, is there bots, and their basic conclusion was that like once they hit rank 10, the game got way harder. Like they seemed to be playing with like more real people, and so they kind of were like, oh, it seems like there's bots early on to help get people acclimated, and they sent a request to the Tencent to get official response and didn't seem to get one. But yeah, most people say it seems to be bots. I have been playing a little bit of Dungeon Defenders 2, which is a free-to-play. It's a tower defense where you actually get in and fight. I'm trying to think of the like terminology for that genre. It's kind of like an active tower defense game. But I played Dungeon Defenders 1. I kind of think I like that better because Dungeon Defenders 2, it like lets you play as 4 different characters at once. Like each one is assigned to a different button, and you can switch between them easily. And it kind of makes that like instead of just having your class and trying to play them well, you're just constantly like switching characters, and it makes it kind of feel less satisfying to be playing any of the characters. And it is free to play, so I've been playing with a friend, and we seem to have gotten to a level, and I don't know if we just need another person to be playing with us or what, but we're having we've played the same stage like 4 times and can't get past it. So I don't know if we've kind of hit a like, hey, you probably do better if you spend money now, or if it's just like, oh, we just need to do better. But we'll probably be playing more of that. And I purchased Burnout Paradise while I was drunk, and I've been playing a little bit of that. It is still very satisfying. Crashing cars is very cool, and I'm hoping that maybe if they sell enough of this, like they'll go like, hey, maybe we should make a new Burnout. I feel like I'm not really sure what all they did in the remaster, other than like putting the graphics out better to like match what the newer consoles can support. Like and I know they bundled in all the DLC, but did they make any like gameplay improvements? Because I feel like there's stuff that they could have done, because it's kind of an open world game with like traffic also there. I feel like they could have done something to make it clear who the other racers are. Because if a normal traffic car is kind of going around the same speed, you're like, is that another racer, or is that, just another car? So because if you're smashing into just traffic, then you're gonna like hurt yourself. But then if you smash into another driver, that's the point. So there's improvements that I feel like they could have made, but I'm hoping they sell enough of these that it gives them incentive to make another Burnout game. Because that was a very good series. And as far as I can tell, the entire soundtrack is available. So I have listened to Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne. And that is enjoyable. But let's get into the news. Last 2 weeks have kind of been pretty slow in terms of news. But HTC announced. So we knew that the Vive Pro headset would be coming, and they finally announced the price for it. $799. People are pissed. To give you an idea, $799 is what the Vive originally launched at, and that included the controllers, the sensors, the link box, basically everything you needed. But this is just the headset. So you're getting a slightly upgraded visuals for the same price that you paid for the entire package before. And along with that, they are dropping the price of the bundle, the stuff that you used to get, to $5.99. And we've been seeing the Oculus drop in price a lot, and seems like the Vive and Oculus are kind of having a bit of a price war going on. So that brings them a little bit closer. But yeah, in terms of, like, I'm definitely interested in the Pro. Having the better visuals and kind of the second camera and all the stuff that kind of goes with that is totally interesting. But definitely not paying that price. And I like, even if they put it at a lower price, what I'm planning to do is wait for them to come out with a bundle for the Pro that, like, we already know that there's new controllers coming. So I imagine sometime in the next year we're going to see a bundle that's going to have the new headset. There's new sensors that will work with the Vive Pro that don't work with the current Vive. Like, the sensors from the original Vive will work with the Pro, but there's new sensors that will work with the Pro that won't work with the original. And they're, like, better, that you can use more of them. They've got a larger range. So I'm basically like, unless you run a virtual reality business, I can't see anybody paying that price for just a headset. And even then, that's quite an investment. For a pretty small upgrade. What I imagine is probably in a month we will see that drop at least $100. But we have a bit of PUBG news, which we both kind of talked about a little bit. But why don't you give me the roundup of all the PUBG news, Darian?
All right. Well, PUBG Mobile is live on Android and iOS. Pretty self-explanatory. Bryce and I are both playing it. I have an iPhone, so I'm an iOS. You're an Android user then, right?
I am.
Yeah. So there you go. They're also PUBG brought.
Well, why don't you talk about how it controls, how it feels on mobile?
So on mobile, all of the controls are just touch on your screen. So you have a weird joystick that you can rotate around with your left hand, and that's your movement. And it's simplified a lot of the controls. So running is just using this weird joystick that's on the screen, and they've got buttons on the other side that's got your prone, your jump, your crouch, and your attack button, which starts with a little fist, a punch button. You have a smaller button on your left side that's got the your inventory. And then when you kill somebody, you also, on the right side above your movement actions, I guess, you also have the a look icon, so that instead of using your alt and mouse to look around without moving your whole body and where you're running, they've got that you can drag around. And then if you kill someone and you stand over their body, or you're at a loot box or anywhere, your loot is next to that additional I button.
I will the game offers auto pickups for anything it thinks you need, and like if you pick up like an assault rifle, or if you pick up like a gun, it will auto pick up add-ons for that, things that improve. So they've like added in that so that people don't have to do as much inventory management and stuff. Still, like, there's a lot of buttons on screen. I often end up accidentally pressing the shoot button. Like, there's one on the left and one on the right. I ended up removing the one on the left when in the settings, so at least that reduces a little bit. But yeah, I keep accidentally pressing the one on the right. Well, you can change it so because your right side you use to look around, I change it so that if you are looking down your scope, then the shoot button's on your left, but otherwise the shoot button's on your right. So it does offer some customizations in terms of buttons. But yeah, there's also a lot of contextuality. When you're in the water, you'll have water control, like diving and raising buttons. Driving a car, you'll have car driving buttons, stuff. It's like they did a pretty good job of making the controls work on a phone. It's still not great, but they did pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I think we mostly covered it. It definitely. So I haven't gotten to a point where it's gotten harder, but
No, I got big hands.
David plays on the iPad. He cheats. Because so he has a much bigger screen, and also the controls aren't like right next to each other and hard to maneuver. They're spread out more.
I wonder if you can hook up a controller and play a controller off your phone.
Maybe. I wonder if I can use my Bluetooth keyboard.
Maybe.
For the WASD and stuff.
But non-mobile news.
Non-mobile. So they're also PUBG's bringing in an event mode. They launched that with the 8-player squad mode with 2 times AR and drops. Or 2 times AR drops, and I think that's it, actually. Someone said that there was extra crates too, but that must not be right. But they launched the event mode with the 8-person squad, which is really crazy.
I'm glad. Like I watch Awful Squad on Polygon all the time, and they have because they have custom games, they're able to do like crazier modes and stuff, and I'm like jealous of like, hey, like it would be awesome to play huge squads or zombies or all sorts of stuff, and it's cool that due to this event mode thing, they're allowing kind of weirder games to happen. Which kind of Fortnite's been doing that a little bit. Like, you know, Fortnite's had the 50 versus 50 mode. They've been doing the Blitz mode. So this is kind of matching what Fortnite's been going on. It's kind of. I definitely prefer PUBG over Fortnite. It's more my style of gameplay, but I appreciate them kind of like, you know, pushing each other to you know, be better games. So
a direct competition is it's benefiting the players for sure.
Yeah.
So another thing that is kind of an upgrade, it's definitely an aesthetic upgrade for PUBG, is that they're getting weapon skins, which I read about and got really excited about. So basically they have a chance to drop in a crate. But specifically the Triumph and Raider crates. The Raider crates are free, but the Triumph crates you have to use specifically weapon cosmetic keys to unlock them. And they're just skins that you can get on your guns. The guns will look normal until a player with a skin picks it up, and then that gun will permanently be marked with that skin. So if someone kills you and takes your gun and you had a skin on it, you're gonna have that skin for the rest of that game, which is kind of cool. I'm pretty excited about that because I'm a whore for aesthetics and cosmetics in games.
Okay.
Someone's honking outside my window. I didn't want to talk over it, so that... Anyway, as some of you may know, I have collected over 600 skins in League of Legends, so I like aesthetics and cosmetics in games, and I'm all for this, and I'm very excited about it.
I am looking forward to players having golden guns so that they're more noticeable so that I can shoot them in the face. Yeah, it is interesting that, like, it will change the gun so then, like, people, if you kill the person, then you get their gun. I mean, it's like the same thing kind of with clothes, that, like, the player will come in with clothes, but then you can take it if you kill their body or kill their person.
Yeah, the only thing that bothers me about that is, like, if I'm trading guns with my teammate, does that mean that if they have a skin for a mini, but I have a different skin that I like better for a mini, and they pick up a gun and bring it to me, then I'm not going to be able to use my mini skin because it's going to be marked with their mini skin?
I believe that would be the case.
See, that kind of bothers me a little bit because I often play squads and we are often gun trading. So, like, that just...
Then I guess you'll have to pick up all the guns, and then they can... You pass them out to your friends because
pretty much.
That
I'll
way
just be the gun trader. Listen, guys, listen. I have all of the skins for all of the guns. Just let me pick up the gun, and it'll be great. It'll be pretty gun.
I am just waiting till one of those guns goes for like $1,000.
It's gonna happen. It's kind of ridiculous.
So yeah, lots of PUBGs keeping stuff going, and also the 4x4 map, we got like a very, very short glimpse of that, and like they did a video of just like, thank you guys for playing the game, you really helped us. Like, I think they maybe came out in early access about a year ago, so they did it, thank you, and like there's a very short deal. PUBG
came out of early access in December.
No, came out on early access.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood what you said.
Yeah, I think they came out on early access about a year ago. And yeah, it was just a video of just them thanking, and there was just like, and we're gonna keep working on the game, like this 4x4 map, and there was just like a very small deal. So the 4x4 is gonna be a super small map.
So the 4x4, is that the City Wasteland one?
I don't know.
Because
it felt kind of jungle-y from the little bit that I saw.
I just remember back before they released Miramar, that the Little Mexico, that there was like this city wasteland, which I guess is probably what Miramar is, because it's a desert map. And another map that's really small.
Yeah, the big 4x4.
Yeah, so I guess I was expecting more buildings with Miramar.
Well, I mean, I think they've gone in and added more because people were complaining of like, hey, it's just too open, there's not enough stuff, so they've added more stuff to that. But yeah, this will be, I think, a lot closer, so it'll be a lot quicker matches there. It'll be definitely interesting how that's gonna go. That we have very low information about that. If you Google, you can see like a couple of seconds. So I don't want to say too much about that. Just like, hey, 4x4 is coming. So something that is also coming and will be out when this podcast releases is Ready Player One. I have talked about it. I have talked about the trailer, and then it's movie is coming out. And guess what? All you persons on the Twitters who are talking the hot garbage about the movie, guess what? It's a good movie. It's a good movie. It has 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. Ready Player One is a sweetly nostalgic thrill ride that neatly encapsulates Spielberg's strengths while adding another solidly engrossing adventure to his filmography.
That's a lot of words.
I know all of them. Spielberg, that's a word. So, I just want to say to all the haters out there, stick it in your bum. also, Pokemon Go is getting an update, which is apparently kind of a bigger thing. They're adding kind of story to the game. So they there's Professor Willow, and he will want you to do special research quests, which will give players new incentive to check in daily, as it will allow a new way to capture Pokemon, and this is from the Polygon article. Field research challenges come from swiping at Pokestops and award players stamps upon completion. They involve Pokemon-related activities, according to Niantic, which likely means specific capture bonuses and events. These change daily, with multiple available throughout each day. At 7 stamps, players will have a special research breakthrough that can lead to a legendary Pokemon battle. From the sound of it, this will the first of these will pit players against the Psychic type Mew. As for special, so if I'm understanding this right, I think it gives single or people who play by themselves more opportunities to kind of play, because like catching Mew and stuff, like a lot of things have been focused around like group play of raiding lately, and you need like huge groups to do raids. And this seems like it gives people who playing on their own opportunities to get kind of the bigger Pokemon through solo play. As for special research events, these will advance the plot of Pokemon Go and involve Professor Willow entreating players to help him with his own projects. This is the first time that Niantic has committed to developing the plot of the game since just shortly after its launch in 2016. It is not clear just how deep that storyline will be or what it will entail, and we'll begin finding out March 30th. So the day this releases... Yes, the day this releases is when that update will hit. So I'm like... that I wish the game started with a story. Gave some people more than just randomly collecting Pokemon to do the game. Because like holding gyms, like you can't hold a gym for very long if you're in any sort of half-populated area. So that's not much. I mean, the game's mostly just catching the same Pokemon over and over, and this seems like it gives people an opportunity, especially solo play people, things to do that they can't haven't been able to do before. So maybe it'll give people get people to jump back in. I know when they did the raid thing, I jumped back in a little bit to see like, oh, did this change the game enough for me to care? And the answer was no. Like, if anything, it kind of pushed me away a little bit because it required so much cooperation with other people, and like not that many people playing anymore. So it's pretty. But we'll see how this shakes out. Darian, can you tell me about our last news story? Because Teddy's just not talking today. I don't know what's up with him.
Teddy's just dead weight right now. So Toys R Us is set to close or sell every store in the U.S. They don't have, I guess they no longer have the financial support to continue the company's U.S. operations. As of March 14th, they first delivered the news, and on March 15th, they had an update. It looks like gift cards are still going to be honored for 30 days from the 15th. But it's very sad. They're going to be closing down or selling all of their stores.
That is pretty crazy. End of an era.
Yeah, they're gonna liquidation is what they filed for. With a bankruptcy court hearing scheduled for Thursday a couple weeks ago, so I'm sure they've already gone through that.
Yeah, I know recently a lot of the stores have already done of like, hey, we're selling everything, just the whatever. Come in with $2, we'll give you half the store.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of want to go check out my Toys R Us. It's right across the street from me. They had zero indication that anything was happening the last time I went in there. And that was in February. So I guess I'm curious to see if it's drastically different now.
I'd be curious how their employee situation is. Like, when you get the news that your like workplace is about to close, you just like stop showing up. Like screw
It
this.
depends on if they have incentive, because I have worked in a place. Granted, mine was a little bit more of a professional. Like, they have a bunch of minimum wage workers working for them, so
Yeah.
I imagine they're not gonna have anything like a oh god, what is it called? Hold on.
Okay, this is where Darian's typing on her computer. She's looking very quizzical at the screen. Now she's laughing, and she did like a half a wink, but not like on purpose, but just like a. Sometimes she
Okay,
closes
so
her eyes.
sometimes I do that. So when a business closes, they will sometimes offer a severance pay. And I worked in a place that offered that to its employees because they were only closing one site. The business itself wasn't closing down or anything. So I imagine they're not going to offer something like severance pay to the minimum wage workers. They might try to find something. I mean, I don't know if they have it in the budget to.
I'm guessing probably like store managers, like higher up, probably, or like get something, but like yeah, all the like cashiers and something, all the normal people probably like they've got no incentive to hang around. They'll probably get paid for the last few days, but I'm sure most of them are just like, I gotta find a new job. I don't have time for this BS.
Right. I know there's a guy, I know a person in another state that's been working in a Toys R Us that was already in the process of closing down. He was hired to be basically a security guard. Like, he's not a cashier or anything, but he was hired to be a security guard while the store was still closing. So maybe more locations will do something like that.
Interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't.
It's kind of like seasonal work, you know? Like,
I guess
this job is not meant to be permanent. We're going to pay you for this set amount of time, and this is why, you know?
Yeah. But that sucks. Heart goes out to all the people losing their jobs over this. Hopefully.
Yeah, some like 33,000 people can be affected.
Yeah, hopefully we'll find some new stuff, and hopefully people will be able to get some cool toys on the cheap. But let's talk about the topic of the show. So, with the success of Fortnite and PUBG on mobile phones, do you think we'll see a resurgence in mobile gaming and more ports of bigger PC or other games coming to phones? Because PUBG and Fortnite are the proper games and they seem to be running fine on phones. So maybe we've gotten to a point where the phones can really run proper games like well.
Yeah, so the first few things that come to my mind are they brought a streamlined version of Final Fantasy 15 over as well.
Yeah, the kind of chibi version.
Yeah, and also it's not as intensive and it's not a big game at all, but Five Nights at Freddy's, all of the games for that particular series are also on the phone, so there's definitely more and more PC and console games that are making their way over.
Yeah.
But from what I've noticed is there are games that are already wildly successful. Like Rumu is probably never going to make it to the mobile phone. Unless, actually, you know, I take that back, because some of those indie games that have really simplified, you know, gameplay mechanics could probably make their way over very easily as well.
I see kind of lots of like, I mean, Rumu definitely has the game, like, you could definitely play it on your phone. There's no reason.
100%.
I mean, I'm more like the fact that they made a shooter, like a proper shooter for like PUBG work on a phone. It's just like, man, what else can they do? How else are they gonna do this? Is pretty crazy.
The next COD is going to be on Xbox, PS4, and mobile devices.
That would, like, if you, because what's Fortnite players, I know for sure. I don't know if PUBG players can do it, but Fortnite players on your phone can play with like PC players. They can.
I would never ever want that. Never in a million years.
If that is the only device you have, like I would hate to be the PC player, but it'd be like, oh, I do want to play with my friend. You might do the thing. But like if they put out a Call of Duty on phones that you could play with Call of Duty players elsewhere, man, that would be so buck wild. And what like Fortnite and PUBG on phones are free.
Mm-hmm.
They're pushing more of a like free to play style model. Like the PUBG has like daily rewards for logging in and stuff that the normal games don't have. I think likely trying to get people to put money into it, but
are there even microtransactions in the game yet?
I haven't looked. I'm not gonna put money into it, but I wouldn't see why there wouldn't be. I mean, there's microtransactions in the full game. I just don't know if they've
incorporated them yet. Yeah, but they didn't have microtransactions for like a long time. They just recently added the microtransactions where you can buy keys to unlock certain crates, and specific crates you need money to buy. But for the most part, they've steered pretty clear. I think early in the early access they had it as well, but there was a solid like 3 or 4 months where there were no microtransactions.
Yeah, but you can buy crates. You can buy crates and you can buy key. The problem with the key thing is that like that you will get crates that you can't open without a key, and you need to buy keys. You can't get keys through just gameplay. So they've gotten kind of bad with that stuff.
Yeah, I don't think they've implemented microtransactions in the game yet. I just went and spent all my BP, which I'm going to regret later. And I went to try to buy another crate, and it didn't say, do you want to buy more BP or anything like that? So I can't seem to find anywhere else where it would offer in-game purchases yet. So I don't think they've, at least in the PUBG, they haven't.
But phones are getting more powerful, and if these things can work, if they can... what's funny is I think PUBG works better on phones than it does on Xbox. I think they've made some improvements to the Xbox One, but like right out the gate, it worked great on phones. Which I think they need to do, because they're hitting by going on phones, they're hitting the casual audience, and like the casual audience, if it's not working well right away, like it's easy for them to get turned off. But if they're great right away, they can keep them. We'll see how that goes, and I think in the future we're gonna see more games trying to hit the phones, like more proper full games like PUBG and Fortnite and maybe Call of Duty coming to phones. So we're gonna try something new for the next episode. The next topic of the show is going to be, what do you think gaming will look like in 5 years? And we're going to answer ourselves, but we also want to hear what you, the audience, thinks. So I've modified the form, readysetgamecast.com/submit. And if you've got a response, just click on, there'll be what section are you responding to? Click on topic of the show, and then put your response. Or otherwise, if you just have a question, you can submit in the same form and then just click questions. Speaking of which, do you want to be a part of the show? Go to readysetgamecast.com/submit to submit a question, comment on your favorite Darien shirt. We have many. We have a decent amount of questions. First off, Catfishy asks, If you were able to live in any movie or TV show universe, which would you choose and why? Note, you will never be able to come back. You must stay there forever. Teddy? Okay, he's thinking. Darian?
That's a tough one. I think I'm gonna say Kingdom Hearts. Because that just sounds like a boatload of fun.
Okay, like which game in terms of like time period, which game?
Kingdom Hearts 2. Because that's before they revealed all the stuff that messed up the game. It was still the pure area, I think.
Okay.
Because now they have like the keyboard exams, and they introduced the prologue and stuff that made that really, really, really convoluted the story. Like, I feel like it was a lot simpler before they introduced the prologue. And
it was all there all along. It was all planned from
Nope.
the beginning.
Definitely was
I knew
not.
it.
Super duper 100% was not. That is a dead lie. They were just making shit up to try to make more games.
It all
to
connects. It all
pad
works.
their pockets until Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. And now they keep delaying Kingdom Hearts 3 because they're like, how are we supposed to incorporate all this shit now? We fucked up. We don't know how to fix it. That's why Kingdom Hearts 3 is taking so fucking long. Because they ruined the story. Anyway, I'd like to live in Kingdom Hearts. Thanks, bye.
Okay. I mean, technically that wouldn't work because of the options, because it's movie or TV show. But
Oh no, you're right. Oh, hold on, I gotta think again. What's your answer?
probably Star Trek. Definitely like Deep Space Nine. Period. I really love like I would want to live like not on Earth. I probably wouldn't even want to be in the Federation. I would want to like live somewhere in like the Deep Space Nine area where there's like still like shit's pretty good. Like if I ever want to just have a relaxing time and go back to Earth, I go to Ryza and hang out with the Pleasure Planet. You know, get my good times on. But then like, you know, there's like the Federation doesn't have money, but the Ferengi do. So I can be all commerce-y, or I could just get into fights, and like there's enough going on in that world, yet it's still like a pretty like chill world. So I'd say Star Trek. Prime timeline, none of that new movies with Kirk as a dumb boy. You got a movie TV show answer?
Sailor Moon. It's a TV show.
Even if you weren't a sailor?
Oh no, I would be a sailor. Are you kidding me? I have blue hair. I'd have to be one of the main characters. That's how anime rules work.
Okay. But you weren't born with blue hair.
That's what you think.
Okay. I've seen pictures of you without blue hair.
I was dyeing it.
Okay. You wanna answer this or ask this next question?
Yeah, but it looks like there's a typo in the middle, so I'm gonna fix that for what I think it should be.
It was copied and pasted exactly as in the form.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure there's a word missing, so I'm just gonna fill it in. So this is from Batman. It says, "Ever notice?"
Do it in a Batman voice.
I don't have a Batman voice.
Oh, try.
Ever notice that you've never seen Yuri and Superman in the same room? Or at all? I don't know where I was going with this, but it makes you think, right?
That was beautiful. Totally.
Now I just want to say Batman quotes like, "Where are the drugs?" Rachel!
See, you totally got a Batman voice. I've never seen Yuri and Batman or Superman in the same place.
Or at all.
Or yeah, neither of them. Joe, I'm walking here. Bridges asks, if you could stream a game with your favorite musical celebrity, who would it be and what game would you play?
Can it be a musical group, or does it have to be a single person?
I feel like you could do a group.
Because there's a group called the Game Grumps, but they also make music because Danny Sexbang.
You cannot do the Game Grumps. And the Game it's Ninja Sex Party would be the music. Game Grumps.
No, technically it'd be Star Bomb because I would want to play with Ninja Brian and Danny Sexbang and Aaron Hansen. So.
And I don't feel like they're a musical celebrity.
I'm pretty sure Ninja Sex Party does shows, so there's celebrities.
I think it's along the lines of Drake is a musical celebrity and played the Fortnite, and I'd pick a different one.
Lil Dicky.
Okay, good choice. What game would you play?
I just wanted a chance to play video games with Danny Sexbang because I would also have to seduce him. But I play video games with Lil Dicky. I think we could just kick it, play some, I don't know, video games that you play with other people. Like, you know what? We play Smash.
Okay.
I play Smash with Ninja Sex Party.
I need a new co-host. Anybody want to be the new co-host? I would play with Carly Rae Jepsen, and we would play Stardew Valley.
Aw, that's really sweet. There's no multiplayer in that yet.
It's coming, but until then, we just chill out.
Make out.
Chill out together, and I imagine I'd have her play and just help her figure out how to play, and just be like, oh, there's the deal.
You know what? I'm going to play Kingdom Hearts 3 with Danny Sexbang, and we're just going to make out until the game comes out. Is that okay?
Yuri Gaspar sent in some questions. Yuri asks, have you played any of the Nindies on Switch? My favorites have been Blossom Tales and Golf Story. Darian and Teddy are both shaking their heads no. I have played Has Been Heroes. That is it. I've looked at Golf Story. Maybe I'll get it someday if it goes on sale.
Does Stardew Valley count as an indie? Is it just any?
Yeah, I'd count it maybe.
Then I've played that. I haven't been playing it recently, but I have played it.
Yuri asks, how did you come up with the name of the? How did you come up with the podcast name, Darian?
I think Bryce made it up.
Okay, but how'd you come up with the podcast name?
You see, Teddy, what do you think?
So yes, I did come up with a podcast name. I was just trying to come up with something that sounded cool and running through different things in my head. And yeah, I was originally gonna go with Ready Set Game, but apparently the domain readysetgame.com goes to Kotaku, so I added the word cast to the end, and that was available. So we're called Ready Set Gamecast.
I also remember that before we recorded the first one, he bounced a couple ideas off of me. You did send me a few prospective podcast names. I don't think I ended up choosing. I was like, ooh, these ones sound pretty cool, but you ultimately decided them.
I'm sure. I don't know if it was in the Hangout chat. I think I had a podcast name thing that I've since deleted. or else I'd be able to scroll back and see what my options were. But yeah, I think Ready Set Gamecast was like the best one. I think there was ones that Teddy was like, oh, that sounds like the best, but there was none that was like great. And then I think Teddy was not even.
Teddy hated them all.
Yeah, I don't think Teddy was even that sold on Ready Set Gamecast. But now it's the podcast. So, are you trophy/achievement hunters? If so, why? If not, also why? Darian?
Teddy?
I think Teddy's having mic issues, so we'll skip him for now.
I don't know what's going on. I am super duper not an achievement hunter or trophy hunter because I'm very, very bad at video games. Like, even playing through Until Dawn, there are totems that you can find that will affect your storyline depending on how many you pick up and what order you pick them up and shit like that. And I'm, like, focusing heavily on, like, looking at the ground, trying to make sure I'm grabbing everything, trying to make sure... And I haven't gotten a single fortune totem, and I am almost done with the game. And I'm just like, what? Like... How? So I just achievements and trophies like that where you have to like, do particular things to get them. A lot of times I won't unless it's something that's very easily achievable. Like when I was playing Dead by Daylight, you could look at achievements that you're so close to on Steam. And if I knew that I could meet those criteria, I would do it just to have it. But I don't care about like 100% of games or anything like that.
I don't even have notifications turned on PlayStation. People are being loud outside my house.
That's like a race car.
Yeah, I don't like... It sounds like they're driving quite a distance. I don't know how I can still hear them when it sounds like they're driving that far. Yeah, I don't even have... notifications turned on my PS4, so I don't even know when I get trophies. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that should totally have been a trophy, and then I'm like, oh, why didn't it pop? And I remember later, oh, like, yeah, I don't have notifications on, so I'm like, getting a platinum is like, oh, I did this cool thing, but for the most part, no, I don't care, like... For a little bit there, I had a trophy war going on with my brother, but my brother had his wife play under his account, so he got a lot more trophies than me because he was getting trophies for games he didn't play. So
he was cheating.
Yeah, a bunch of shenanigans over there. But yeah, I don't really care. I just want to play the games and have a good time. Yuri asks, some games come out with books or comics to supplement and or support the story. Do you ever seek out this type of book/content? I.e., God of War comic, Infamous comic, Battlefield 3 book, standalone story. Could have been Gears of War. You just put GOW.
Yeah, I don't know. God of War sounds good, but Gears of War... also sounds good.
I have a couple Gears of War comic books. I haven't really read them. I was just like, oh, this is a cool cover.
So I have most of the Kingdom Hearts graphic novels.
Aren't those just adaptions of the game?
They are just adaptions of the game with some quirky manga aspects to them. I also have Interview with a Vampire, but
yeah, man, that was such a great game.
Story.
That was such a great game.
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at Claudia. So the only adaptations, like the only books that I own, I guess, I'm looking over at my bookshelf and being like, oh, that wasn't originally the content it was. But you're right, that's not a video game. I'm sorry. I don't know what content is. If it exists outside of my realm of reality, it counts, all right? So if it's a video game or a book or a movie or a music video or a Broadway musical, It counts, okay?
Okay, but he said some games come out with books, so we're talking
Some
about...
games, like Interview with the Vampire.
I love that.
So Kingdom Hearts.
What game system did the Interview for a Vampire game come out on?
PlayStation 1.
Remind me how that played.
Really wonky. The controls were bad. It was in that really weird in-between time, like right after analog sticks were put into the PlayStation 1 and they were trying to figure out how analog sticks work.
Yeah.
And they didn't quite do it, so the game wasn't very successful.
Yeah, but the gameplay, I think they made that work, which was what again? You
were in control of the main vampire guy. Okay. That was played by Tom Cruise. And you ran around and turned people into vampires and made a big harem. And actually, it played out more like Oran High School Host Club. You just had a harem of... That's not right. Let's see here. XX Holic, I think, is about harem? I don't know. I don't actually watch harem animes. But it's... You controlled whatever his name was in the movie. But you controlled him in the game. And you turned all the pretty ladies into vampires, and you killed them if you found out they were betraying you. Which most of them were. That was
a good video game experience, and I'm glad that they came, like, in the PlayStation era, they could only, like, fit so much story in there, so I'm really glad that they came out with a comic book to really expand the stuff that the game couldn't. But, yeah, that's really answered Yuri's question.
I do have most of the Kingdom Hearts graphic novels. I don't have physical copies of, like, the Overwatch graphic novels, obviously, because most of those are online. Bryce.
I do.
Has them, which is silly because Bryce doesn't even play Overwatch.
I have free weekends sometimes. If we're talking about Overwatch, I like the shorts. Like, that's like shorts are cool. The game itself doesn't really have a story, but there's plenty of content outside of the Overwatch game that contributes to the story. So,
speaking of manga, I have a manga adapted version of The Scarlet Letter, which was probably my favorite classical novel to read in high school. And now I have a manga version of it, which is really cool because it's the same story, just in manga format. And through the whole thing, like, the whole manga is black and white, except for the A on her chest through the whole thing is red, which I think was really cool.
Now, was that a video game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm sure they referenced it in a video game somewhere.
Anyway, moving on. With the release of the Tomb Raider movie, how do you feel about these adaptations? I, for one, really enjoyed the movie and found it was pretty good at sticking to the story while building the suspense and character. Discuss.
I don't like being told what to do, so next.
I haven't seen it. I'm probably not going to see it until it comes to DVD. Blame Movie Pass. I still haven't got my Movie Pass. I got it. I paid for the 1 year thing in, like, April.
Did you see that they added more benefits and made it cheaper?
They're, like, ghosting me. Like, I sent them a message on a weekend. Let me check the app. I sent them a message on a weekend because I was like, man, I need to, like, find out about this.
Are you still being charged every month?
Well, I paid for the year up front.
Oh.
So I can't just, like, cancel it or whatever and save my money. Like, they got my money. By message them, I'm like, hey, I've never not received my card. You've told me you've sent it 3 times and I've still not got it. And then, like, 10 days later, I just messaged, like, hello, ? And they don't respond. Like, I'm being ghosted by Movie Pass.
You want to know something? I'm being ghosted by Lyft, so I can relate. I'm trying to drive for Lyft, and I applied in November, and they still haven't gotten back to me. Like, my background check is still processing. But I've talked to support like 3 different times since then, and now I sent a message to support to try to delete my account at the beginning of March, and they aren't responding to my support tickets anymore. So I think I'm blacklisted for them. Which is stupid. So Lyft ghosted me in the same way that MoviePass ghosted you. And in a way, they also got my money because...
No. You didn't give them money and then they didn't provide a service. They just won't employ you.
It's probably worse. You're right.
Hey, Darian, why don't you do the next one?
So this one is from a yogurt enthusiast whose answer to the question, the year-old question, or the year-old question? What is that? To the time, whatever. Super. It's the best question in the whole wide world. What's your favorite yogurt? Favorite flavor yogurt? And this person, yogurt enthusiast, said blueberry.
Okay. Well, we got a response to that. While you're at it, why don't you do the next one?
So Fake Gamer Boy asks, what media/entertainment do you consume that is not a video game? My answer is nothing. Everything is a video game. And the next question is, what is your favorite series or piece of content?
Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Well, I consume a lot of media, like freaking The Magicians, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow. I'm rewatching Deep Space Nine with a friend right now. Like movies, all sorts of stuff. But I would say my favorite series is Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Like, it's got a slow start, but it's like the story it tells, like once things get going, is so good. Way better than any of the other Star Trek shows. Like, whereas Star Trek just kind of like Next Generation just kind of has them going around being like, man, we're the Federation, we're better than all the other planets, and let's just roll up and make fun of how shitty they're doing things wrong. Whereas like Deep Space Nine is like, they're not going anywhere. It's just them there on the edge of the everything, with enemy forces right like on the other side of this wormhole, just like trying to survive. And throughout this stuff, they basically have the entire universe like turn on them and just try and hold on. And it's so good. It's such a great group of characters with complex backstories and very, very good. Darian, what's your favorite content?
Lately I've been watching a lot of videos about Sailor Moon. And I'm gonna read the comics or the manga again. Or not again, I guess. I have the first 3 volumes. I've never gotten further than that. I have watched all of the English translated Sailor Moon Crystal because, God, please don't at me, but I can't do subs. I can't. I don't have the focus for subs. I miss so much when I read subs, so I have to do dubs. And if it's a bad dub, I just don't watch it. There are very few exceptions. I've watched Monster Musume, which was subs, and that was really good. That was also a very light, just goofy, dumb dumb anime. So I have to do dubs for the ones that are like deep and have a lot of actual important story. But Sailor Moon's been what I've been getting into. I'd say that's one of my favorite series right now. That changes all the time. Also, Interview with a Vampire is pretty fucking great.
Correct answer was Game Mate Corp. Next question.
Incorrect. It's good. It's not my favorite. Ready, Set, Gamecast is my favorite.
Correct answer is Dead Air.
Damn it! You're right!
Next question. Grillmaster asks, what is your favorite grilled food?
I like grilled pineapple.
I'll go with beef. Steak? Grilled steak. There's the thing that people...
Beef is a pretty all-encompassing term. I like that because, it doesn't lock you down to traditional just like grilled steaks. That's like one of the cliche ones. But if you just say beef, it could be anything, Could be chicken, could be pork.
But that is all of the questions. Thank you to everyone who sent in questions. Catfishy, Batman, Joe, I'm Walking Here Bridges, Yuri Gaspar, Yogurt Enthusiast, Fake Gamer Boy, and Grill Master. Darian, why don't you take us through housekeeping?
Oh, I've never done this one. All right, go to ReadySetGamecast.com for links to the podcast on all your favorite podcast services, including iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher, as well as the video version on YouTube. If you like the show, please subscribe, rate, and review it on iTunes and Stitcher. It helps us grow and become more powerful. Bryce, have you been hitting the gym?
No, I just lift heavy boxes all day.
Oh, okay. Damn. Is our flexing not enough for you? How about a $20 gift card to your favorite gaming platform? Rate and review Ready Set Gamecast or Game Make Corp on iTunes or Stitcher and take a screenshot and tweet it at Bryce at Last Geek on Twitter in a month, and he'll pick one person to win a $20 gift card for either PSN, the Xbox Store, Nintendo eShop, or Steam. Now that ends April 11th, so time is running down. I think I said...
Nope. You said a month. It
said in a month because of what but April 11th, sorry, I misspoke. I was reading a script and I didn't improv at all. I'm sorry.
So far, Yuri is the only one who's done that. He's already reviewed us on iTunes, but he went on Stitcher and did that. Technically, he did not take a screenshot and tweet it at me, but he did tweet that he did it. So I'm gonna count it. But yeah, anybody like $20. You want a game? There's plenty of games that you can get for $20, or at least in 1/3 of a game. You know, a brand new game.
Far Cry 5 just came out, or is about to come out tomorrow, I think.
So if one other person does it, you've got a 50-50 chance of getting $20. It's either gonna be you or Yuri.
You sound desperate. 50-50 chance. Come on, I'll give you $20.
So yeah, like money. Come on, bribery. Do the thing.
Also tell all your friends.
Yeah.
Because you can threaten them and take the gift card for yourself, but have more than a 50-50 shot if you tell all your friends to rate and review us on iTunes. You don't have to tell them why.
Okay. But, yeah, also, if you just want to help us grow, like, the best way to do that is tell other people about the podcast. Like, somebody who listens to gaming podcasts or wants something new to listen to, like, oh, I'm going on a long drive, I need something to listen to. Tell them about the podcast. Like, that's the best way to help us grow. And the more we grow, the bigger we get, like, the better the show is going to be. We can make sound improvements, technical improvements, stuff, make it better for you. So helping us helps you. But this is not the only Last Geek piece of content that exists. So, new Game Make Corp is out, episode 3. Parker came on the episode. He was crazy enough to put sauce on his head to be on the show, so they had to do the thing. What is the game we made? Oh, Big Fun Time Boy. Based on the movie Blank Check. It's a good game that we made. You can find it on pretty much all of the podcast services. If you have trouble, just go to GameMakeCorp.com. which will have links to iTunes, Stitcher, basically anything. Also, first episode of Narrative Adventure, new podcast, starring me and Darian, will be out April 2nd, about What Remains of Edith Finch. It might take a little bit for it to hit iTunes and stuff, because there's a whole, you gotta put it up, and then they need to, accept it on the services, so it might be a little bit, but it should be on YouTube right away. But that brings us to the end of the show. Where can people find you, Teddy? Okay, apparently Teddy has nothing he wants to plug this time. Darian, where can people find you?
I'm feeling really guilty, and I think we need to come clean. We actually killed Teddy this time.
Okay, so people can find Darian at jail.
You can find me in prison. I don't think they're gonna place bail. So, come visit me. Visiting hours are found on their website. I'm not sure which jail I'm gonna be in yet, but I'm sure they'll post that when you look at who's behind bars. Anyway.
Who'sbehindbars.com.
No, that's a real website. True story. Every once in a while, when we have a cook that no call no shows, we'll check to make sure he's not in jail.
That's interesting.
By using that website. Yep. People can find me at twitter.com/ and twitch.com/ and facebook.com/ dexterity, but it's spelled wrong. Also Snapchat, Darian Lee, and Instagram, dexterity. What about you, Bryce? Where are you?
Twitter.com/lastgeek, where you can send your screenshots of the reviews of the podcast. Mixer.com/lastgeek, lastgeek.com, and youtube.com/lastgeek. Also, lastgeek plays on Instagram. I don't post there very often, but when I do, it's quality content. That is the end of episode 15 of Ready Set Gamecast. Thank you for listening, and we will see you again in 2 weeks.
Bye! Why did you stop?
Bye.
Bye!